what is in the application for a cybersecurity policy, right? And so what we're seeing is that clients are coming to us needing some help in filling this out. And what we've also seen is that we've had folks in the past, and they may not be our clients, but we'll just say we've heard of this happening, where somebody in the organization will get the cybersecurity insurance policy application and they just click yes on everything because they assume it's all being done. Does that sound familiar, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll take it one further, is that oftentimes in the past, your HR department or whoever's going through the insurance renewal process didn't need to know a lot about the technology side, right? They didn't need to be IT people. The policy and application process today is so specific, and it calls out very specific technologies and security products that it's almost impossible to not involve a technical person, whether that's an internal IT personnel, a CIO, or an external MSP that can help you through that process. The questions are very, very technical to answer. And so it's almost impossible in this day and age to answer these questions without having some sort of technical background or knowledge in the industry.
And this is an example that we have here of just some of the questions that are going to be asked. We've got a couple more of these slides we'll go through. But you can see here some of the questions that they're asking when it comes to FPF, SPF records is an example here on our fourth question. I don't know how many non-technical people would be able to answer whether or not there's an SPF system in place when it comes to validating emails, when it comes to DNS, right? I don't know, how many people would know whether or not Office 365 Advanced Threat Protection has been enabled, right? Without actually getting in and looking at it. Are you guys finding that these kind of questions, even from an account management standpoint, you're having to go back and talk to our technical leads, or like, how do these typically work when you start filling these out?
I'll give you a funny story. Oftentimes, what we find is that some companies will go through this process and not involve IT in any way, shape, or form. And suddenly we get wind of it saying, oh yeah, we have, an SPF record in place, and IT's like, oh, we do? It's like, no one's really doing that. No one's aware that we should be doing these sorts of things. And none of that is, well, we'll get to an adherence part, but IT is often maybe the last people to know that they should be doing this to adhere to a policy, right? And what the point is that if you're saying you are doing something as part of your policy, you need to be practicing that in your environment. Otherwise, when something happens and they come and do an audit and they say, oh, you're not, you said yes on your SPF record, but you don't actually have something, that absolves them from responsibility, and they'll walk away from that policy. They won't pay out anything on that policy, right? So having these questions answered yes, and also making sure that they're being done in the day-to-day maintenance of the environment and the adherence of that is critical to make sure that you're doing what your policy is asking you to do.